I shouldn't be slagging off the police on your podcast.
No, it's fine. It's very welcome. I'm Ben Smoke, and this is The Lock-In. This week, I'll be talking to Max Dewhurst, Vice President of IWGB Union and a bike courier with Couriers. Check it out.
The difficulty mostly is just the lack of work. And the fact that, the fact that you don't have any legal protection now is very, very stark. And it's quite, being able to stay at home and work from home is a total luxury, actually. People that actually have to go outside and deliver things, they're going to fall through the cracks.
What would you want right now for members of your union, for people across the gig economy, for people across the forgotten front lines? What are the major priorities that you need?
Cash and PPE. Properly protect the vulnerable people. Statutory sick pay is totally inadequate at the best of times. It's like 95 quid a week. No one can live on that. And it's only available to employees, which is why our members are keeping working. People with lung conditions or immunocompromised, they're going to work every day when they really should be staying at home for 3 months. At the moment, it just feels a bit like they want the best of both worlds, which is a cheap labour source and a bunch of key workers, government advisors on it being like, well, we can't have a situation where people are incentivized to stay at home. It's like, aren't you worried a bit about a bunch of couriers spreading COVID around, or aren't you worried that a bunch of couriers are going to die? It's all a bit raw, to be honest.
For many of us, being in lockdown means an increased reliance on courier services. For companies like DPD, Hermes, Uber, and Deliveroo, it's big business. But what about workers on the front lines? In March, Uber announced that it would be suspending the accounts of any drivers that went off with COVID-19. In a statement, the company said, "We may temporarily suspend the accounts of riders or drivers confirmed to have contracted or been exposed to COVID-19. Any driver or delivery person who is diagnosed with COVID-19 or is individually asked to self-isolate by a public health authority will receive financial assistance for up to 14 days while their account is on hold." The problem is if that someone in their house gets symptoms and they have to go off sick, they only get 2 weeks. If they then get COVID after that, they're not covered. This policy is forcing drivers to go out and risk their lives. And unfortunately this week, news emerged of the death of an Uber driver after transporting a passenger to Heathrow Airport. Clothing company ASOS has seen a huge increase in its orders due to the pandemic. The company promised to protect the jobs of up to 70 workers, but have now reneged on that promise, which means that up to 70 workers are going to be made redundant at the end of this month. When asked last week, ASOS declined to comment. Elsewhere, delivery drivers have reported that they feel penalised for being responsible. Greg Howard, a delivery driver from Nottingham, told The Guardian in March, "They made the decision that I was too unwell to work, but not unwell enough to get paid. After coming down with a fever and a cough, he tried to access Delivery's coronavirus hardship fund, but couldn't because it required a doctor's note. The NHS is not currently issuing doctor's notes." Deliveroo told The Guardian it is committed to providing financial support for riders across the world who are diagnosed with the virus or are told by a medical authority to be in isolation. "We are providing riders with continuous advice based on expert guidance on how to stay safe, and we will continue to explore other ways in which riders can be supported. At this point, it's more important than ever to make choices about who we're using, when we're using them, and how we're using them. Keep yourself informed, keep yourself up to date." This week, I went out and asked people on my Twitter to tell me their perfect albums. We've collated them into a list for you to use to soundtrack your lockdown. Check it out. The link will be down low. Here's the boombox. Boombox. I think that's it. Oh, like and subscribe everywhere. Thanks.